could generate. And in the fifth state, usually, because before it petrifies, up until the fourth epoch, right at the change from the power and the sun, Mars influence into the wisdom and the moon and the mercurial influence, we have the shifting of our matrix being water-based to our matrix being earth-based. Atlanteans were the first of the human race to stand on ground and see objects in a non-watery substance. So that transition to the earth is an alchemical process. And as we come to the conclusion of the latter half of our total seven epoch cycle, we will have a reversal to the liquid-based. We are going back to the blurry, into the fuzzed, and we are moving out of the earth-rooted separation, spawning view of our, I like to say, our interfaces. So after the seven trumpets, then what? So what? Then what? Right? Our Earth will then have reached the goal of its physical evolution. All the objects and beings upon it will then have been transformed. Mind you, this is 2 whole epochs after the War of All Against All. We're still going through the alchemical chrysalis of planet and its dematerialization. In the 7th epoch, during the trumpets, that you can't hide evil, that it appears on your face, in your words, in your heart, as you speak. There's no more sleight of hand. The cards are turned around. And that's in Steiner's adding to that, saying that the form of man and the form of beings will be an expression of good and evil. So our less and less corporal architectural assemblies will be showing that expression of good and evil. Nothing can be hidden in any way. We will know each other just as an initiate can know another in this epoch. As we understand, every epoch has in it the essence of the following one. This is the impregnation and the gestation in its catalytic form. And so, you know, I googled Devachan, because I was like, what is it? H.P. Blavatsky called it the dwelling of the gods. And apparently Steiner broke it also into, well, obviously it has its half and its half. It has its Mars power, force side, and it has its Mercury wisdom, moon side, and its higher side was this, with the world of reason, and the lower side was this world of emotions, within the Devachan epoch, the 7th epoch of the 7 trumpets. I have to say, in my 3rd reading of this chapter, it became, well, I should say, I guess it was my 2nd, but I wrote it out. It made more sense here. Some of the stuff that initially seems confusing is because you're sort of lost on your wheel is a bit wobbly, and then you catch into what's being said, and it clicks more, though everyone's bound for their inconsistencies, probably even John. And so this 6th epoch, this stream of brotherly love coming after our War of All Against All, it's the descended astral world. It's the images and the expressions and the manifestation of those expressions. But the 7th epoch will be the descended heavenly world. And that's the expression of that. So what is actually being expressed with the image, with the expression? What's being expressed? Well, that's the descended heavenly world. That's the 7 trumpeted epoch, or seventh epoch. That's what we go through before we immaterialize, before we go poof. And then the earth, together with all its beings, will change into an astral heavenly body. Physical substance will disappear. Everything physical will pass over into an astral cosmic globe. All right, well, what about the people that aren't on the boat? Imagine all the beings of the earth who up to that time will have been able to express what is good, noble, intellectual, and beautiful in their external material form, who will bear an impression of JC in their countenances, who in their words will show an expression of JC, who will ring out as resounding thoughts. All these will have the power to dissolve what they have within them as physical matter, as warm water dissolves salt. And in this way, everything physical will pass over into an astral cosmic globe. But those who up to that time have not progressed so far as to be a material and corporal expression of what is noble, beautiful, intellectual, and good will not have the power to dissolve matter. For them, matter will remain. They will become hardened in matter. They will retain material form. Well, this is the point that the crystallized, immaterial planet of individualized, inner freedom-based, realized egoic entities will discharge a corpus, the sludge, the husk, the skin off the snake. We will expel that which is densest entirely and send it out as its own world, because it can't be where we're going. That's all there is to that. And okay, well, what's the oil for this train? It sure is an oil. Oh, our metaphors, Engines have horsepower, and trains will run on Cybertracks, or telepathy will have gigabytes of RAM. And so this power of love, that's gained through the Christ principle, the anointed one, the ultimate ego of inner freedom and exaltation, a mirroring of the divine, flawless other half of one's whole. And we approach, we work with these bifurcated swords, and we separate within ourselves the same process that planet is going through within the transubstantiation of the epochs and the dissolution of planet. And so we spiritualize, and we astralize, and we cognicize, and we input and articulate and accentuate and integrate this whole earth and transform it into an astral globe. And that which rises has an opposite force which presses down. This is the Janus of divine love and divine wrath. The inception point of the gestation process for the